Swinging a high drive into center field. It's at the wall. It is gone! Costas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied! This game is tied!
He swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
What's up? Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is episode 182. This is the official Red Sox podcast of WEI. Before we get going, hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you're getting them. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, leave a comment. You can find us on YouTube as well. We've got the Play Tessie playlist there. It's on the WEI page where you can subscribe to WEI. Find all of the videos on the Play Tessie page where you can hit the thumbs up. And as always, find us on the socials at Play Tessie on both Twitter and Instagram. So Sammy's here, Pat's here, and we've had a total of 9 spring training innings played since our last episode. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles when you're the Play Tessie boys and you've got the schedule that we do. We drop 3 a week for you guys, and that doesn't just stop because a game got rained out. No. But yeah, I kind of like spring training. I don't know. It's good this year because you got the starters. They play like 5 or 6 innings. They've been playing more early on this year than they usually do. And then when they come out, like today, the starters all came out. And then it's like, okay, Marcelo Meyer's in, Roman Anthony's in, Christian Campbell's in. Like, there's intrigue in all 9 innings of spring training games, which I can confidently tell you, when the Red Sox don't have the farm system that they do right now, like it's not usually like this. The game's usually off by the 5th inning in my house.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I hadn't looked at it that way. Like when Michael Chavis and Darwinzon Hernandez were the top prospects in the system, you could kind of safely turn the TV off after like the 4th or 5th inning, like you said. But now when you got this parade of, beastly prospects just coming out one after the other, and then another one, Password, just adds his name to the list now. Yeah. Yastinson. I'm not even like trying to be funny. I actually am struggling to pronounce.
Don't you pronounce the J?
No,
There's
it's like a ja. Justinson. All right. Anyway, Justinson Garcia with electric hair, which nobody has discussed that enough. I mean, that the name is already great and the hair is even better. And then now he's just crushing baseballs. I'm enjoying it. And like I said, not a big spring training guy, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing, too, is you were just saying Chavis. Dude, I remember treating, like, the day that Jay Groom was starting his spring training game like it was crochet day. Like, oh, God, first-round pick on the mound. And he let up, like, 11 earned runs on 105 pitches in an inning and a third. Like, God, I hate it here.
No, he's just working on his fastball. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's not even throwing the breaking ball today. It was all fastballs.
Dude,
like, who cares?
This is the easiest time of year to spin whatever narrative you want. Like, whatever you want. If a guy pitches poorly, oh, he's just working on stuff. Guy pitches well, oh, he's a beast. It's so easy. It's spring training's whatever you want it to be.
100%. That's a great way to look at it. Spring training, you can make it anything you want. Until opening day, it's all on the table. You can say whatever you want about anybody. Guys get absolutely wrecked in spring training and like, oh, I forget who it is. There's like a future Hall of Fame pitcher. I don't know if it's like Kershaw or Scherzer or whatnot. Someone gets like routinely just blasted in spring training and it's like, oh, it's spring training. And it's like, all right. But if someone pitches well, I'm trying to remember, there was a guy on the Pirates one year. I'll have the name by the end of the episode, but there was a guy who had like he would throw 4 spring training innings and like have 8 strikeouts and not let up any runs. I was like, all right, this is my sleeper of the draft. Dominated the entire spring. Absolutely sucked in the regular season. Never was good. It's going to be impossible for me to figure this out. I think he was a Rockies pitcher initially. So I'm going to find
Pirates?
it. Yeah. I'm going to go Rockies roster. I'll figure it out.
For example, Rafael Devers is yet to play a single spring training game as we record. It's Tuesday, February 25th. I could easily just be like, he's resting. Rafael Devers, he does not need spring training. Whereas if you don't like Raffy, you could be like, oh, he's hurt. He's behind. So it's whatever you want it to be. It's the beauty of it.
I figured it out. It's Juan Nicasio. That's my guy. Juan Nicasio. I'll find a spring training too, Pat. Pat, I didn't mean to cut you off. Give your thought. I'll find the stats.
I was gonna say this is also like the only time of year where a John Farrell response to an outing is okay. Like if Crochet got lit up the other day, and he's like, yeah, threw the ball with good crispness. Like people are like, oh yeah, it's a good point. He did throw the ball pretty crisp out there today. That's great. Good observation. Sammy, you said it. It's whatever you want it to be. Guy throws a gem. He's in midseason form. He's good to go. Gets shelled. Yeah, he's just working on a few things. It's awesome.
I will say there is one guy whose performance I actually am going to care about in spring training. I'm sure you guys can guess who, because he has a big role on this team and he hasn't pitched in 2 years pretty much. That'd be Liam Hendricks. So he's the rare exception where maybe not the stats I care about, but the velocity and the command and just the presence on the mound. That's kind of what he's the only guy, the only non-prospect guy, I should say, that I'm actually kind of like, gotta see how this goes. Who you got, Pat?
I'm curious to see how. I'm curious to see how.
I'm in the dark.
Oh my god! I'm curious to see how Story looks with a first time in a while a fully healthy offseason. I think that is worth watching as well.
Do you guys want to hear Juan Nicasio's spring training from this year? I wasn't exaggerating at all.
This is the third time we've pivoted the conversation to Juan Nicasio. Is he even in Major League Baseball anymore?
He last pitched in the majors in 2020. No, he's not.
Wait, wasn't he on the Red Sox for a minute?
I don't think so. I think I would have been happy enough about that to remember that. So his 2016 spring training, he threw 5 games, a total of 15 innings, did not allow a run. In those 15 innings, he had, 24 strikeouts. No runs and 24 strikeouts in 15 innings. Let's see if I'll pull up his regular season stats that he parlayed that spring training into. 2016, 118 innings and a 4.5 ERA.
That's good.
Sometimes there's correlation. I don't know, but like not with Juan Nicasio, unfortunately.
That's just called being the Sam Travis of the Hill.
Oh my God. Yeah, Sammy and I were talking about Jackie Bradley's insane spring training on last podcast, but like Sam Travis, he's also a spring training legend.
Oh,
and Bobby.
Dude, every time I saw Sam Travis hit, I don't know why I remember this. He did not wear batting gloves. The only person I could think of anytime I saw him in spring training was Evan Gattis. They looked so familiar swing-wise. No batting gloves. It just raked. It was unreal.
Evan Gattis, the janitor, the former janitor.
You know who's another spring training guy? I don't even know if he did well in spring training. He's more of like he went off in the minors. Yairo Munoz.
Oh, he had like the 30-game hit streak in the minors.
Yeah, he was killing it. He's playing for the Toros now. Somewhere else.
You know who else went abroad to overseas? Like I think it was like as of today. It was someone who you made fun of me for wanting the Red Sox to claim, and it seems Major League Baseball teams agree. Harold Ramirez, I'm pretty sure, went to like Mexico or something.
Yeah, dude, you can't.
Gordo.
No offense to anyone named Harold. I don't want a guy named Harold. Sorry.
Dude, are you kidding? Such a good name. Such
Gordo.
a good name.
Only if he's a closer with a handlebar mustache. Then Harold's okay. Gosh,
I'm going to correct you right now. Mexico is not overseas.
It's true. It's not. It's not.
No, I'm correcting you right now.
He signed with Mexican League's Tecolotes de los Dos Laredos. Yeah, he's not overseas. He's in Mexico.
What team?
It was Tecolotes de los Dos Laredos.
They look good. They look good this year.
Well, they got Harold. So
Pat, another name we spoke about on the last episode, who was a spring training darling, was Steve Selski. I think that's maybe the ultimate. He's my ultimate example of a guy, because nobody knew who the hell Steve Selski was. Then he popped off in spring
overseas
training.
in Mexico too.
Yeah, he went overseas to Canada.
Oh,
wait,
dude,
you know who?
Ryan Fitzgerald.
Oh God,
Yeah.
true. Ryan Fitzgerald.
He's Royals now.
Royals.
I think he went somewhere else. He got claimed by the
did he?
Royals last year, but I think he's now on a new team since then.
He
I'm
was
not sure.
Rule 5 Roy.
It was like minor league Rule 5.
Yeah.
Twins.
My OG. Okay, he's a twin. My OG spring training darling. I don't even know if this guy had good spring training stats. This was like maybe 2012. Juan Carlos Linares, who there's no chance anyone listening to this remembers who the fuck that is. But
I remember
every
Juan
time I
Carlos
watched the TV,
Linares.
he would. You do? Good.
Yeah.
There we go. Every time he would come in the second half of a spring training game and he would go like 2 for 2 with a single and a double, and I'd be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And we never heard from him. So should we talk about like the only spring training quote? Like I shouldn't say quote unquote story because it is a story. Like the Devers thing. He talked.
Yeah,
he
I think
talked
that
today.
was big. He shut it down basically. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. That's a way to take it. It's like he did try to shut it down, but he didn't say what the salute. Like he didn't say he would move. He just said he's not upset at the team and that he just wants to win. So like in the end, I feel like you can assume he's gonna move if they ask him to. But I mean, as of today, there's no like we can keep downplaying the situation, which I think the situation should be downplayed just based off of how big of a story it's become. Like within an hour of him saying his comments today in the clubhouse, like I was getting like ESPN notifications, like national notifications about what Devers said. And it's like, okay, like I think the fans and the media that are really close to the situation and watch it closely know that like, yeah, this probably is not a big deal because in the end, is Devers going to request a trade? Probably not. Is Devers going to say he won't play if they don't play him at third? Probably not. Like the end result here is if they ask him to move, he's probably going to move. And I think him saying he's not frustrated was a good step towards maybe taming the narrative a little bit, but it's one of those fires that's ignited enough where like until there's an actual solution, like he was told to move and he did it, it's not going to go away.
The embers are still burning.
Yeah.
Here's the full quote in case people listening haven't heard. He said, and this is from Boston Sports Gordo.
Don't
Rafael
credit me.
Via Chris Cotillo. All right. So Devers said, I'm not frustrated. I don't have the need to be frustrated about anything with anybody. My family is good. My kids are good. I don't listen to what's said. I really don't know why this is becoming such a big story. Like I've always said since day one, the most important thing for me is that we win. End quote.
So
my
Sammy,
biggest
before you
takeaway
give
from
your take, that is like a snippet of like several other things that he said. So I took like bits and pieces of quotes that he said throughout that availability and put it there. So if you want more context, go read Chris Cotillo's article. But that I felt like kind of covered the gist of what needed to be said because he said a lot, but that kind of covered it. But go on.
That should be this whole episode. It should just be one of us reading Cotillo's entire article and then signing off. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. My biggest takeaway from that would be when he says, I really don't know why it's become such a big story. And this is like borderline conspiracy theory. The tone that he had in that first interview was way too jovial for the corresponding quote, if that makes sense. And I don't speak Spanish. So, it's purely an educated guess based on the tone of it and his expression and the body language and everything. It seemed like he was pretty, lighthearted about it, I guess you could say. So I agree with Raffy. I don't know why this is becoming a big story, but here, actually, let's be real. We know why it's becoming a big story. This is how Boston fans are. We like to overreact for better or worse. But yeah, I don't think this is going to affect anything in the way of on-field play at all.
Pat, do you think that this has any because Red Sox fans and Boston people in particular, like, I don't want to target it at the media. There are some media members that have this tone. I think the overwhelming majority, if not the entirety of the Red Sox beat does not do this, but there are a lot of media in Boston that touch and go cover the team that try to spin everything as negative as possible. Pat, do you think that part of this is like the reason why this has gotten so big is because like for the first time in years, the front office and ownership can't be the target. So there has to be a different target for the negative energy to be directed at. And just this Devers situation was kind of the first and biggest thing that emerged as sort of something that could be that target.
I don't know if I would necessarily say there needs to be a new target. I will say that it was like, I mean, if you're gonna write a huge headline, I don't think there's anything much better to drum up views than kind of on the heels of a huge move, directly pivot to the guy who could be directly affected, and then have him give, I would even say bad quotes. Like, it just wasn't exactly what people wanted him to say. He just said, yeah, like, look, I'm playing third base. I'm a third baseman. And then it's just, you have the big move. You have the superstar who doesn't shut down that he's going to move. And like, it's just a whole bunch of shit that can be kind of pooled in together and renamed and kind of thrown out there. I think it's going to get reads because, like we said 1,000 times, Raffy did not shut down that he would move to DH or first base if he was asked to. So when you do that, you kind of leave the door open to interpretation. And then when there's interpretation, that's when you get I don't want to say clickbait, but that's when you kind of get the 1,000 different perspectives and what could he really mean kind of things. So I don't know. That's kind of where my head's at with all this.
You know who looks like a genius today with all this, Devers quotes, Casas quotes, stuff just being not taken out of context, but just blown up? Bill Belichick looks like a genius for the way he handled the media here for 20 years. And everyone would always roll their eyes like, why does he have to be like such a curmudgeon and act this way? Here you go. This is why. Because he doesn't want any of this he didn't want any of this happening to the Patriots. And it, rarely did. So
and you saw the other side of that. You saw the other side of that this year with the Patriots. Like, to me, like, there's no such thing as, well, I shouldn't say there's no such thing, but like when you talk about, because Pat said, yeah, I don't think what Devers said was bad. It just wasn't necessarily what the fans wanted to hear from him. Because like you want the players on your team to be happy. I would say bad is like when like Gerard Mayo says that Ramondre Stevenson is getting benched and then he starts. Like when stuff comes out that shows that like leadership doesn't have control and command of the locker room, then that's bad. But a player giving his honest opinion, and this goes for Casas too, I'll loop him into this. I think a lot of people, in fact, the majority of people probably think what Casas said was bad. But to me, like, I don't think that when someone is honest and genuine and says what's on their mind to the media, I don't think that that's bad. If it opens the door to dysfunction, then maybe. But I don't think that anything that Rafael Devers, particularly what he said today, does that. And I don't even think anything that Casas said before does that. Like, I don't see this unit as a dysfunctional unit at all. Alex Cora has a great control and command of the locker room, and he always has.
I would say I kind of agree. I think Devers' initial quotes from spring training and then Casas' response, I think they were bad. But the difference between me thinking it's bad and, the general public thinking it's bad is I'm looking at it as like a stubbed toe. It's not a broken arm. It's just like, oh, don't do that. That was bad. But it's not a big deal. So, yeah, I guess that's the difference between, Gerard Mayo, what your example of Ramondre's not going to play and then he starts. Like, that's really bad. That's dysfunction. This is more like, hey, come on, don't do that. We don't need that. Doesn't help us at all.
It's funny seeing, and that's a good way to put it, Sammy, because maybe a stub toe is the right way to put it, because like in theory, giving the media anything that they can run with and talk about that's not the success of the team is in theory a potential for a distraction, which could be seen as bad. But I agree. It's no more than a stub toe. Are we going to be talking about it come the regular season? No. Why are we talking about it now? Because there's really not much else to talk about. Like, this is the story of spring training. I wish that there were updates being given. I wish like the team would leak info about players that they want to extend, and we could talk about which guys we would extend, how much we'd pay. But like, I think the consensus on that is start with Crochet and move from there. The truth is, yeah, it's a story that's going to be talked about, and until the team gives us something else, and like you've got Alex Bregman talking right now, and he says everything right. Doesn't matter what he's asked. He gets asked. I saw him asked in several different interviews, and including his opening press conference about the trash can scandal in Houston, and he always has the right answer to not make a story about anything. He's not going to touch it, and he always says the quote-unquote right thing. And to me, I would always prefer someone say what Casas says, because I think it's more fun. This is sports. It's supposed to be fun. But Alex Bregman does what he thinks is best for the team, and you got to commend him for that too. I take nothing away from him for diffusing situations like the third base thing and the trash can thing. Like that's his job, and he's one of the leaders of this team, so got to give him credit for it.
It's the leadership they lacked. There it is. It's good to have it.
Yeah, man. I wish there was more. I wish there was more to talk about. Like we had like Sean Newcomb pitch today. It's like, all right,
kid. This is like our flu game podcast, but where we don't have the flu, we have no topics. But like you said, we always post. We're still here. Always post.
It's like when the hockey season ends and it's like that guy finished the postseason on a torn ACL or something. It's like, yeah, we're wounded right now, but we're here. Come on.
2013 Bergeron, or 2019, which was the
19.
one where he had
19.
Whenever he had the punctured lung. 19, yeah, he had a punctured
19.
lung and was like,
Gross.
oh well, I'll play. I don't need to breathe. I'm Bergeron.
Like, the game today was just. Did either of you guys watch the game today? Like on the broadcast that it was on.
I was like every now and then, like if I had a second, just checking like the box score, and it was never pretty, so I just kind of tuned out because I knew no one. Like it was like Crochet was pitching, or like there was just not much going on in the game.
You should have seen the broadcast though, because like I saw a lot of people who didn't know that it wasn't. So like it was only available on MLB TV, so it wasn't on NESN, and it wasn't on the Braves cable network either. Basically, like what MLB TV did for this was they had like a couple of camera angles that they would show, and they aired the Braves radio broadcast over top of it. So it wasn't like it was like a herky jerky half-assed television broadcast.
You're saying they didn't air the Sox radio?
They didn't
air what a certain someone was producing?
Joe,
what the hell?
I want to tell you
Joe's
that it's
working his ass off.
I want to tell you, Joe, that it's because of you, and they thought of you, and they're like, we cannot put the big Brave on the TV screen. But I think it's because the Braves are home.
They just don't like Will Fleming and Cooper Boardman. They don't like that combo.
I think they don't like Joe Braverman. I think you should take it personally, Joe. And you
I'm
should
the
take it up with the
producer,
league.
bro. I don't get on the TV.
Yeah, but they don't want to support your work.
I think, and hear me out, you write a strongly worded letter to Rob Manfred.
Yeah.
Right after he implements the ABS system. Be like, your next problem is get Red Sox radio on TV.
And then we got to get Joe Braverman in the commissioner's office.
Yeah.
What if he what if Rob Manfred responded?
What if I went to
the?
I was gonna say, what if I went to Manfred with that "Who Says No" proposal I had?
Then he would be like, you can't be in a front office, so you have to be in the league office.
You would be banned from all 30 major league ballparks.
I think the potential, Joe's like interesting, like different directions of potential knows no bounds. I told these guys about it, but I haven't talked about it on the podcast yet. But this is something that should have been talked about on the podcast like 3 weeks ago. I had a dream that Joe made the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a fullback. So
yeah, Gordo will text us his dreams if they're weird. He'll like put him in the Play Tessie group chat and be like, "Yo, Joe is in the NFL." Wait, he was a fullback?
He was a fullback, yeah.
I just registered.
I mean, you've seen my body. Totally a fullback at first glance.
We know your body well, Joe. You're a fullback.
It's always crazy because like my dreams are like I overslept for work, and then Gordo will just text the group chat. He goes, "Yeah, I had a dream that Joe won the Rugby World Cup in South Africa, and they had a parade outside Fenway." And I'm like, "What the hell do you eat before bed?"
Hey man, better than that one dream I had with the night what I call her, the nighttime lady, where I was about to get killed by a demon. The one that I told in my Nuff Said like 3 weeks ago. I'm still kind of freaked out by that dream. Where I was.
Why do I not
be
remember
killed.
this? You were gonna get killed by a demon?
I told it really quick. It was a dream I had where I was in like a dark room and there was this like woman wearing all black with like pale white skin, and she was like had like blood around her face, and she was like, "Nighttime lady," and I was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna kill me! She's a demon!" And then yeah, I have scary dreams.
Pat, you're
I don't
a
have a
doctor.
lot of
How do
those.
you assess this? Because I have no idea.
He's
Dude,
a physical.
He's not a psychiatrist.
Dude.
Pat,
So
he's just like he's sitting in the comfy chair. We're telling Pat we're talking to Pat. We're gonna open up to you, man. You're gonna tell Sammy why he has these fucked up dreams. Like, tell me
Dude,
why I'm dreaming about
anxiety.
Joe Braverman.
I have like the most nothing dreams of all time. Like just like run of the mill, like, oh, forgot my wallet at home. Oh, overslept work. Oh, I got pulled over on the highway. You two need to see someone. Seek help. Get medicated. Do something.
Dude, Pat, I like have dreams sometimes that I'm like riding on giant frogs. Like I swear I don't like do drugs before bed or anything, but like my dreams, my dreams are sometimes like I'm on drugs. It's weird.
I mean, not that I know anything about doing drugs, but I have heard that when you don't do drugs, you have more lucid dreams than when you do drugs.
Really? Why would that be?
I mean, we have a case study right here. Not that I,
Fair.
no.
No,
So
but, like,
today's spring game.
Today's
So how
spring
about-
game.
Pivot.
how about Sandy Leon, huh?
I don't. For the record, I don't do drugs. I'm joking. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs. Just a little gummy here and there, but nothing crazy. Keep it
Yeah.
light.
So that
Dude.
that Sandy Leon guy, huh?
He was on drugs.
It was such. How do I put this? Such a combination of emotions when I opened Twitter. I think it was at lunch. I opened Twitter and I saw the name Sandy Leon, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's still in the league." And then it said, "Takes Wyatt Mills deep. Braves extend their lead." And I was like, "I'm so happy but sad." It's like my favorite person in the world just won the lottery, but I'm not getting any money. You know what I mean? It's
Dude, he bombed it too. It wasn't a cheapo. Like,
oh,
he
dude, it was a
crushed-
tank.
He crushed
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that was vintage Sandy, dude. That was vintage Sandy.
Out of all of the 2018 Red Sox that are no longer in this league, like think about the guys that really just like pushed them to that championship. David Price, Rick Porcello, Steve Pearce, the World Series MVP, Mitch Moreland hit like a huge home run to help them come back and win Game 4. Like some of these guys that were just instrumental. And then who's the one that's still in the league? It's Sandy fucking Leon. Out of all people.
You know who I found out is still kicking around the league at some capacity? Drew Pomeranz.
Yeah,
yeah,
Mariners.
he signed. Oh yeah, it's
With
Mariners.
the Mariners, dude.
The
Yeah.
perfect place for him to revitalize his career. I mean, yeah, seriously, who would have thunk it if you told any of us after 18 that Drew Pomerantz and Sandy Leon would still be kicking, but like even like a Brock Holt. Like Brock Holt seems like the type of guy that you would have thought would have had a really long career, and just like a couple years after that, he's done.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
He had a long
Brock-
career. Brock was in the league for a long time.
No,
like
you're right.
8-9 years. Yeah.
But
You're
like,
right. That is long. You're right. I got to give him
Brock-
more credit than that.
I don't know how old
10.
he was at the time, but like Brock, Steve Pearce, dude, Jackie. If you had told me that
Jackie.
Sandy Leon was still in the league over Jackie Bradley Jr., I would think
Crazy.
you were, like Sammy said, on drugs. It's insane. He's just still, finding his role, man.
Yo, am I crazy for being surprised by this? Brock Holt has 2 rings with the Red Sox. Why
Yeah,
did I-
he did play a little bit in 13. How many games did
Yeah,
he play in
that's-
13, Sammy? Do you have that up?
Yep, 26.
Wow, that's more than I thought. That's more than I thought.
Yep.
When was he
Well,
an All
only
Star?
had
Was it 15?
Yeah,
15.
20. He only had 59 at bats, so like he was coming in like defense a lot.
Defense, yeah.
Not a lot, but mostly. But
Can
yeah.
can either of you guys tell me who he was traded with and for?
Pirates?
Jason
Hanrahan?
No.
He was traded with Hanrahan. Who did the
Nice.
Red Sox send to the Pirates in that trade?
Oh, was it Freddie Sanchez?
No,
That's like a decade earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was
He
just
was
trying to
already
think
on
of
the
the
Giants
radar
at that point.
Pirates move.
who? Give me a position.
Another reliever.
Another reliever.
You might not
I
even
don't-
remember that this guy pitched for the. You want me to tell you?
Wait. Oh, I don't know if it was before or after.
Just throw it out there. Let's see.
Mark Melanson?
Yep, there you go. Mark
I was
Melanson.
gonna guess that. Damn it! I should have guessed it. I thought I was gonna be wrong. I didn't. Damn. There you go, kids. Trust in yourself.
Let's take it another step further. Who did the Red Sox trade to the Astros for Mark Melanson?
Was it Josh Reddick?
Not Josh Reddick. Josh Reddick was traded to the
Oh.
A's for.
Jed Lowry? No. To the A's for Andrew Bailey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was Jed Lowry traded to the Astros for now? Fuck! I just gave it away. That was the answer. It's Jed Lowry.
I was gonna say Jed.
It's Mark
yeah.
Melanson.
Yeah.
Okay, even harder. What are the two numbers that Brock Holt wore for the Red
12
Sox?
and 26. 12 and 26.
Nice. Why did he change?
David Price took no. Wade Boggs' number got retired.
Yeah, there we go. Number talk, my favorite.
What were the two numbers that David Price wore?
10 and 24.
And why did he change?
Astro.
I don't know why he
Wait,
changed.
actually, I don't
Why
know
did
the
he
answer to that.
change?
Wait, Pat, elaborate on that. I actually forget. I don't
No,
have the answer.
wait. He was 24.
And then he changed to 10.
He went to 10.
24 is not retired.
No. Oh my God. What's his son's name?
Oh, it might have had something to do with his son.
It was something to do with his son.
Rest in peace, Astro, though. I have that bobblehead.
Dude, Astro died?
Astro's
Yeah.
been dead.
He's a dog,
Astro's,
dude.
yeah, he's a
gonna live
dog
forever.
And sadly, French bulldogs don't live long. Like one of the reasons I didn't get a French bulldog is I saw how short their lifespan can be.
Wow.
Incredible.
All right, here's one. If you guys get this, I'll make you a honorary member of the weird number remembering club. Don't look.
Oh,
Everyone look up.
Wait, Sammy.
ahead.
I just remembered why. David Price's son's name is Xavier X Roman numeral 10. That's why
Okay,
he
there you
changed.
go. There you go.
Okay. This might be the hardest number to remember I've ever presented. Marcus Walden.
76.
No. That's Zach Kelly's number, though.
Ooh, Marcus. Was it? Ooh. I'm
I
trying to
got
think.
nothing.
Workman. Was it 64?
Wow, yes.
That
64.
plays in my head, yeah.
Look at that.
I don't
Were
think
you
there's
about
a
to say
single number.
67 for Workman?
Yes, I was.
Nice. Wow. Okay, Pat, you're in the club. Congrats, Gordo. Maybe next time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I got to do better. I don't think there's a single number, a guy's number out there that I could remember that Sammy would not also remember. I'm trying to think of like the most difficult one that I have in my head. I used to be really good at the numbers thing when I was like in 5th grade. I like knew the whole roster. It was like
I've missed a few. I don't have
Yeah,
a perfect record.
but who have you missed that I could get? That's the thing. Because like yes, there's
What-
going to be some that you
Well,
miss.
I just thought of one. Sammy, you go first. What number was Mark Melanson?
Ooh,
37?
I
38?
think it was 36 or 37.
Let me check.
I
On
couldn't
the Red
get
Sox
that
you're
one.
talking about. Only Red Sox?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was 36.
Do either of you guys actually remember him pitch for
37.
the Red
Thanks
Sox?
for playing, boys.
Yeah.
37.
Jesus, Sammy.
Boom.
Sammy is literally the numbers god. I don't know how the hell you do that.
You're like this with trades, though. You remember trades and
That's
stuff
fair.
like this,
That's
which
fair.
is arguably much more useful skill. Mine's just very simple, so it's exciting.
Mine might be a little bit more useful, but yours is definitely rarer. Like there's not a second Sammy here. Like Sammy is unmatched here. Sammy
Well,
is one of it.
Pat just got a.
Pat just
We
got-
should. That would be fun if we had just like an episode where see how many out of like 20 I could get.
What number was Ian Kinsler? I don't even remember.
5.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I do
he
know
was
that.
5.
That's a bad one. I
Big
got to go
hit
further
Kins.
back. What number was Jose Offerman?
30, I think. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I
Jose
don't even
Offerman?
remember
I
Jose
don't know.
Offerman
I was
playing.
such a little kid at that time. Like 30. Baby, let's go.
No
Nah,
way.
never mind. Lucky guess. I think he wore 30 a lot. He wore 30 on the Dodgers, the Royals, the Red Sox, the Mariners, the Twins.
Oh,
So-
so it's easy. Come on. Yeah. What about John Olerud? This will be the last one, and then we'll go to enough said.
Oh,
5. I think he was 5. I don't know. That one's
No.
impossible. 15
No.
or 5. He was either 5 or 15. I can't remember.
if it's not 5 or 15, don't say what it is because I have a guess.
Nope, I got it wrong.
Yeah, Sammy got it wrong. What is it, Pat? What do you think?
Was it 17?
No,
Close.
you're close.
19.
19.
19. See, I
Okay,
can't
so
get them all.
we have found the borderline, but we've not found the one that I can remember that you can't, and I'm not sure that we will ever find that because I don't know if there's going to be a number out there that I can. And obviously your fandom goes back way further than mine because obviously you're in your
further.
50s.
Way
Jose
further.
Offerman, dude. I just got Offerman.
Yeah, like God.
I'm upset that I didn't get John Olerud. That bums me out. He did wear 5, but just not for the Red Sox.
Your whatever night lady is coming after you tonight for not getting John Olerud.
The nighttime
What is-
lady. This time I'm
nighttime
gonna
lady?
I'm gonna throw hands with the. In my dream, I went to go punch her, and then the dream ended. So she probably killed me.
Yeah, that means you got. You're gone.
Died. Yeah, she slaughtered me. Oh well.
I don't have a lot of dreams where I die, but they have happened before because I've had that happen. But I don't
You ever-
remember specifics.
You guys ever seen the show Land Before Time? It was like 90s and early 2000s, like kid show about dinosaurs.
No. Oh, Pat knows.
Okay,
I didn't see it.
Pat, you know when the sharp tooths, they always when they die, they always fall down in a pit like really far, and they're like, "Wah!"
Yeah.
I would have a dream that I'm always falling in the sharp tooth pit, and then like all the dinosaurs, like Sarah and like all the other dinosaurs, are like, see ya later.
Pat, you're the doctor of this show. Is it true that when you die, you crap your pants?
Gordo, we covered this base with you two's fucked up dreams. I'm not that kind of doctor. I
Well,
don't know.
shit.
That's the borderline between psychology and like physical doctor. Physical doctor. All right, you guys want to? I'm out
Enough
of
said.
things to talk about.
Enough
This
said.
is the most
Pat.
challenging, dude. We have to be the only Red Sox podcast putting anything out there this week. There's nothing other than like interviews with players. This is like there's nothing going on. Friggin' rain delay or postponement, not delay.
Pat, you got enough said?
I do. Mine, actually, I think Joe had brought it up earlier, is about the ABS, automated ball strike system. Correct? Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I, for one, am for the ABS because, I mean, and simply put, why would you not want 100% effective rate in balls and strikes when you see balls and strikes kill teams and like actually tamper or not tamper, but have an effect on the outcome of a game? Why would you guarantee the risk of not getting 100%? It's so obvious. ABS is great. That being said, a certain someone who is now in the division had some pretty strong opinions on the ABS. That person is none other than Max Scherzer, who on several occasions has had to be restrained by teammates and coaching staff from like hitting umpires because he gets so pissed when they miss balls and strikes. He said, "Can we just be judged by humans?" That right there is a boomer take, and that sentence alone should be his indicator I should probably retire.
I want to
That
let Sam. We
is
should let Sammy have the first comment on it.
Insane.
Sammy, was this a boomer take?
Insane.
No, because Max Scherzer is very calculated, and he knows that if if there's a missed call and he gets into it with an ump and shit hits the fan, he can take that ump. That's an easy win for Max Scherzer. Knock him out. But can Max Scherzer beat a robot in a fight? Probably not. So I think it's just Max Scherzer being calculated, thinking about his own safety. He doesn't want to get beat up by a robot. What if that robot that calls the balls and strikes comes down from the booth, gets on the field, and is like, let's go, Max, and then just like beats up Max Scherzer?
It's
that
just
puts
the
a
T
dent in
guy.
his career.
That's just the T guy calls the balls.
Hey, he's got a name. He's got a name.
What is it again?
Frank Oglesby.
Frank Oglesby. You know, Sammy, you
actually
actually made me think of something here because you said Max Scherzer is very calculated, and you say it in a joking way, but actually, like, Max Scherzer is one of the top dogs at the MLBPA, and the ABS thing is something that the league is kind of implementing on its own because the league has the power here for things like this, and maybe he's just saying he doesn't like it so that the players can use giving up the umpires or having the challenge system incorporated as a bargaining chip when we inevitably have a lockout 2 years from now, which I'm very much not looking forward to. But yeah, maybe he's thinking about that. I don't know.
He could be. But jokes aside, my actual thoughts on Scherzer and the ABS system, like, I get it. He's been in the league for a long time. Guys don't like to see change. But for me, I'm cool with the ABS system. And we had a very brief conversation about this on the last episode. I'm cool with it. I just don't want too much of it because I personally, from an entertainment perspective, I love the arguments between the managers and the umps when they get really heated and they're yelling and someone gets tossed. That emotion injected into a game, that means a lot. I think that's not one of the most exciting things, but it's exciting, adds a new element to the game. And I think it wouldn't completely get rid of those scenarios. The great Terry Collins clip when, Syndergaard beans Chase Utley and he gets.
I was at that game.
Wow, that's a good one to be
at. I was there.
That stuff will still happen, but I feel the majority of these arguments come from missed calls and stuff like that. And I know you're not supposed to argue balls and strikes, but come on, it happens still, and guys get tossed. So I don't want to lose that part of the game, but I also don't want to be on the wrong end of a bad Laz Diaz call that may or may not have derailed your 2021 season if you're a Red Sox fan. So kind of a weird middle ground I'm taking. I'm okay with the ABS system, just within reason.
Pat, did I get from your initial take that you want the ABS system in full replacing umpires, or do you just want the challenge system?
I think I lean toward with umpires, the challenge system, with the goal of eventually just getting to like the ABS behind home plate and then 3 or 4 field umpires.
So how long do you think, would it be like a 5-year thing and then you'd sort of transition out of it?
Oh, no. I think it'd be way less. I think it'd be like 2
Less.
years.
Oh, wow.
I think it'd be like 2 years.
Like, I feel like it would be one of those things. Like, do you remember how hard it was to get just the challenge system in baseball? Like, I feel like it would be one of those things where we're all really, really, really uneasy about it. And then, and this is if they were going to the ABS system full time without the challenges, just like straight up robot balls and strikes. But then, after 2 years of doing it, I really do think we would all sit there and wonder how we ever had Major League Baseball without it. And I would miss what having umpires behind home plate brings. I do think that that's an important element of the game, and I don't know that I would ever be down to get to that point where we replace them. But I do think that if we actually did replace them, we would all feel like idiots for questioning it whenever it was that we got used to it.
I kind of feel like that with the pitch clock.
Yeah, I was a little uneasy. I mean, I was for it, but I remember thinking,
I was super against it.
You were against it. Okay. So
I was super against it.
How did your take develop?
Excuse me. I wanted more baseball, not less baseball. And I thought, that's less time of me hanging out at Fenway, less time thinking about the game, hyping myself up, being anxious. But, it's seamless. It's not that big of a difference. It's about 25-minute difference of the game that it changed. So,
and it just cuts out dead time.
Red Sox fans, we lived through Josh Beckett, Clay Buchholz, Daisuke Matsuzaka. We've seen some slow workers out there. David Price was pretty slow. not everybody is Chris Sale, Garrett Crochet, where they just get the ball and throw it. So I get it. It was kind of, jokes aside, I actually felt like that was a boomer take of me looking back. I'm like, I don't want this. It's changing the game. It just didn't change the game as much as I thought it would, and it made it more seamless, and I'm okay with it. So
it's one of those
maybe
things,
that's
Sammy,
how
where you look back, and it is a boomer take looking back, but at the time it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there were a lot of people.
purely, I wanted to spend more time at Fenway. It's my favorite place to be. So, it's barely different though, and more people like baseball with it, which now we create content about baseball. That's good for us. So I can't complain.
It's good for the game. The baseball has more interest now than it did before it. Like I feel like pretty undeniable. I know there's some exciting young players like. You didn't have like an Ellie De La Cruz in the league before that. That's just to give an example. There's a bunch more guys like Fernando Tatis. Like he didn't jump on the scene. Like, of course, can't forget Big Jeff. Like,
dude, Jeffrey.
So I get that.
You see that guy today, Jeffrey Yan?
Yeah,
bro.
Oh yeah.
Joe, please pull up this video. This guy's electric. This is my favorite player in the entire league. It's probably Jeffrey Yan. Jeffrey.
Remember Jeffrey?
I think it is Jeffrey.
Remember Jeffrey Ramirez, I think his name is? He's on the Orioles.
Yeah.
I thought I always thought it was funny because I was like, his name should be Jeffrey, but it's Jeffrey.
Yeah. All right, cool. Oh, here he is. Check this out. Is this not the most electric? Wow.
Oh. Wow. Very cool.
His
he was doing that.
Dude,
he was doing that in spring training. He's
he
basically
was
going
doing
into
it
a full-blown split.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Rockies need guys like that, confident, pitching in Colorado.
Sammy, you got enough said?
Yeah. Shout out to my father, Richard, who had a laminectomy today, which is a very major spine surgery. He's all good. He's on the upswing, and he listens to the show. So shout out, Richard. Good stuff.
Shout out, Richie. Sammy, if you're 56, how old does that make him?
156.
Wow.
He's
God. He's kicking.
You know what? Actually, I don't know his age off the top of my head. I have to think about it, and I think he'd be really happy if he knew that I can't automatically remember his age. It's it's something. I won't say because then he'll get mad. But
I always have to think
recovering,
back
so
to good for him.
That's the point. That's the point. He's recovering. He hopefully is on some doctor-prescribed painkillers to help with the major spine surgery pain, which I imagine is probably not very fun to deal with. But hopefully this episode where we talk a ton of baseball is soothing the pain.
If you're not within a few years of age of me, I can't remember your age off the top of my head, and I have to think back to if you had a round number birthday party and then count from there. My dad had a monumental 60th birthday in 2021. I won't tell the story on air. I'll tell you guys off air. Great birthday. That's how I remember my dad's age.
Wait.
Maybe I told you. No?
Not really enough said. Dude, I saw on Twitter the other day, and it blew my mind, that someone who was 45 years old in the year 2000 is now 70 years old.
Oof.
Now math be mathin'.
Wait, what did you say, Pat?
45 plus 25.
Someone who was 45 in the year 2000
45.
is now 70 years old.
Yeah, that shit always weirds me out. We think of the 90s like it was just a recent chapter, but actually 1995 was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
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 That's crazy. My enough said, getting excited to go to spring training. We're brainstorming some stuff. We've been talking about, we're supposed to stay with Bradfo, but the Airbnb, I guess their association got really mad that they were having too many people stay at the place last year. I guess they kind of spied on me and Sammy walking out the door last year.
Rich Hill.
And Rich Hill.
Us and Rich Hill.
Yeah, they spied on us, man. But yeah, we got to get a new Airbnb, few hundred out of our pockets, but what are you going to do about it? But we're still pumped to go. I'm just getting excited to ask the guys questions. Let us know. Just shoot us questions if you think of anything interesting. Maybe we'll ask guys. We're going to spend the next few weeks. We go on the 19th, March 19th, but we'll spend the next few weeks brainstorming good questions. Hopefully get to talk to a bunch of the players and get some good content for you guys. But if you think of good stuff and we like it, maybe we'll ask it. But anything before we wrap this thing up, fellas?
Nope. Just a good podcast talking all things Red Sox. A lot of talk about good shit.
Oh, yeah. We talk Sox on Play Tessie.
With so many storylines, it was so hard to get the random stuff we were thinking in. Let me see. I have a list here that we forgot to touch on. Oh, no, we touched it all. We're good.
All right. Yeah. You got it. Oh, God. All right. Thank you for tuning in to episode 182 of Play Tessie. Remember, before you get on with your day, hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey app. Subscribe and rate 5 stars and leave a comment. Find us on YouTube. We're on the WEI page. You can find the Play Tessie playlist there. It has all of our episodes in video form. So subscribe to WEI. Hit the thumbs up on all of our videos. Leave a comment there too. Find us on the socials at Play Tessie on both Twitter and Instagram. For Sammy, for Pat, for Joe producing, it is Gordo here for yet another edition of Play Tessie for you guys. Thanks for tuning into this one. Oh, PSA, we said we were going to have a guest on Friday. That guest got very sick, so that is pushed back to another time. So we'll have another podcast for you guys on Friday. That guest we're still going to keep it a surprise, but that guest will hopefully be joining us on a later date when he's feeling a little bit better. But we will still have an episode for you guys dropping Friday, so be on the lookout for that. Subscribe, get the notification. But till then, thanks for tuning in to this one, everyone. Peace.